Good afternoon from Tallahassee, Florida, and welcome to Joanne Graff Field, where the Florida State Seminoles marching Chiefs are in the house for Players Weekend at the Seminole Softball Complex. ACC play continues with 27-10 Virginia taking on the 10th-ranked Noles of Florida State. Welcome inside the broadcast booth as we get set for Game 2 alongside the ACC Player of the Year and two-time World Series participant Alex Powers.
A bit longer than maybe is anticipated.
Popped up, and Isa Torres calls everybody off for out number one. And we'll see that speed perhaps on display, a one-out walk.
They get the bats in their hands.
So one gone, one on. Air on the run to second will take the extra 60. That is stolen base number 13 for Kelly. This weekend, leading Virginia in a handful of offensive categories, including batting average. Elevates this to left on a line. Kerr is there to make the play. Pulled down the line, and Amaya Ross steps on the bag for out number 3. Apsell works around the...
Committing to a velocity right now, just like yesterday. It's going to be pretty consistent trying to see the ball up.
No call on the corner, no strikes thrown to Isa Torres, and Florida State gets their leadoff batter aboard. Bouncer to third. Virginia will go for the lead out, try to make the turn, and they do it in time. A 5-4-3 double play. Great glove work on the infield by Virginia.
And good job here. This one sharply hit by Beecham, but Kuhn over at third base just going to turn it easily. Nice little 5-4-3 action, Sean, like you mentioned. Cabral with the transfer and firing over to first base, but good job.
And goes the other way and off the glove of Hilton. Nice piece of hitting there for Janai Kerr. First pitch swing and bouncer up the middle. Hilton makes the flip for the force and out number 3. Nothing doing for Virginia, nothing doing for Florida State in the first here in Tallahassee.
They're coming out to our practice. Let's show them what we're made of here and put on a good show.
The Chiefs were at Dick Howser Stadium yesterday for Florida State baseball's opener against Wake Forest. They made the trip over here today. Great to have them in the ballpark. Nice job, and Sydney Hartgrove steps in. First pitch swinging by Hartgrove. Kerr arranges a couple of steps. 2 are left, no problem. Hit sharply to Ross. She'll gather it and step on the bag. A 1-2-3 inning for...
You know, one of my favorite sayings when you've got coaches going into a program new, Sean, is just plant seeds and let them grow, watch them grow, right? And so Coach Harden finally seeing so much of the work.
Down she goes. Kuzo wins the battle and sends Hart back to the dugout on strikes. Mark from 2024, a year that Florida State made it to the Norman Super Regional, and that rode in and got her. Second straight inning that Florida State has gotten a runner aboard. And that was the difference maker in game 1. Ross elevates this toward left, but there to make the play is Hilton at short. So Florida State gets a runner on via the hit by pitch. Nothing else doing for the Noles. Who gets another start as the DP here this afternoon and bounces this through the right side. A base hit for the veteran. Ahead of Jade Hilton's home run. And she's popped this into right. That will drop for a base hit. Virginia's got a couple of base runners aboard now after being held hitless through the first 2 innings. On the ground, 2-second. Potter recovers for the force. It'll be runners on the corners for the Cavaliers. Bella Cabral waits in the on-deck circle. She has been the best batter so far. Force at the plate, and Florida State gets the lead out.
In a brick behind home plate. Gonna set up nicely. She's got a path on the back half of home, and I think that right there is great positioning by Michaela Enfield. Her foot is set up on top of home plate in that front half, and so giving the back half to the base runner, and she doesn't have to, Sean, now with the way the...
And that's the call that you have to make if you're Aaron Gold. Still got to actually throw those pitches on the intentional walk, and you know, you can weigh in on this too, Alex. I think that's important. You know, you never know. You can still get crossed up. You can still make a mistake even on an intentional pitch.
Well, and speaking of that, a couple of weeks ago in the Florida State Dukes, no base on balls.
So the bases are now full of Cavaliers after the intentional walk. Macy Eaton flares this into center field, and Virginia will tack on a couple of runs.
Macy Eaton doing a good job here. Gets a little fisted, but just puts it where they're not. Shallow right field right there. You see Annie Potter gonna immediately break in a couple of steps and then has to turn and break back to the outfield. Just clutch hitting, timely base runners right there for the Cavaliers, taking full advantage. Really just the games and the way in which they're kind of occurring, coming in some big pressure situations.
And that will find the gap. 2 more runs will score for Virginia. They lead it 4-0 here in the third.
Sarah Kuhn doing a good job right there, driving that ball the other way, just gets her hands extended around something left over the middle of the plate. Good piece of hitting in the big part of the park. Sitting nice too in a hitter's.
To be an everyday starter. He's batting nearly 300 in him. On the ground, snared by Danley. That'll be out number 3 here of the third for the Cavaliers. But what a third inning it. Essentially, who wins the ACC regular season? Still a lot of softball, though. A lot of folks can get into the equation between now and then as Danley lines out to the second baseman, Cabral. A road series dub over a top 10 foe in the ACC. Torres will drop this into no man's land. Big turn at first, but she'll hold up, and that is a 1-out single for the shortstop.
Game yet, and just knowing that we still got time, but we've got to put together some really quality plate appearances.
And that rode in and caught Beecham. 1-out traffic on the base paths. Florida State's got multiple runners aboard in front.
Good stuff, so coming in as a fresh arm right now for the Cavaliers.
Taking on Janai Kerr, who lays down the bunt. It's a great one, and the bases are full of Seminoles. And nowhere to put the catcher. Florida State looking for its first run scored of the weekend. On the ground to third. Kuhn will step on the bag for the force. The Noles will score the run. The ability to find the gaps and just blow balls over the wall. This is lifted into left. And there to make the play is the shortstop, Hilton, in foul territory. Florida State scratches across a run, but they still trail by 3 through 8-9. And considering how effective the Cavaliers have now proven they are at the bottom of the order of getting somebody aboard in front of Jade Hilton, you would have thought it would have been especially imperative to try to work efficiently through this portion of the lineup. And just like into the left center gap, Kerr, what a play! Couldn't hang on. Great effort nonetheless, but the ball rolled out at the last second.
Good piece of hitting by Holbrook, but Janai Kerr just lays out. Great effort, great attempt there. The glove gonna just get stuck underneath her body as she's making the dive. Tough play overall, and not much you can do if you're Eaton, because you see it, you go back, then you realize it's out of the glove, and you got to turn and pivot again. Lots of chaos out there on the base path, but good job adjusting.
Popped up the bunt, Enfield grabs it in a hurry. Consecutive singles for the second.
So that's a good take, but good execution on the location.
Ball 4. To the dish and retire the lead. Runner air this time goes to the big part of the ballpark through the left side. The bases remain full of Cavaliers, and Virginia gets the run right back. They lead at 5-1.
It's a really good piece of hitting by Air. Look at how she's going to take this pitch, something down in the zone, but just keeps her hands inside that ball beautifully, just driving it right in the 5-6 hole. The simple approach continuing to work right now for Virginia.
Reaches for this one off the glove of Danley. Plays to first. Virginia will tack on another run. The fourth, it'll be Sarah Kuhn who will face Francic first. Kuhn, the 8th different batter to come to the plate, and this blooper is secured by Annie Potter, who checks back in to do at Joanne Graff Field here in Tallahassee, Florida. Sean Davison, Alex Powers on the call for you as Kennedy Harp does in fact get this bottom of the fourth off to a positive start with a liner in the left for an carbon copy down the line. Florida State will have runners at the corners, but the ball got jammed up at the base of the wall. Harp will come around to score.
Allie Waycaser doing a good job again. Back-to-back first pitch swinging here for the Noles, driving that one down the left field line, but look at how she's able to get the extension and the way in which she hit it. If you're Kennedy Harp, you've got no hesitation on the base path mixed with the speed that Harp has. No doubt she's scoring on that one.
Swung early in their respective ABs against Courtney Lane. And that ball is down and in the dirt and away from Hartgrove. That will allow Waycaser to advance to third.
Talk about the lead right now that Virginia holds as well, but talk about the
continues to take steps forward as a program, brought some of the support staffers to get an idea of how the leader in the ACC year in, year out does things, as that ball will get away and the Noles will tack on another run. Single, an RBI double, a pass ball and a wild pitch have scored a couple of runs already in the fourth for the Noles. And she is down on strikes. She went. That's the call by the home plate umpire, Erin Golden. For 64 hits now, second in Division I softball. On the ground to first. Eaton will step on the bag. Underneath it. And Harp is waiting for it. Hit a ton to left field and gone! MC Eaton with a line drive home run to left.
And what an at-bat by MC Eaton. Her second hit of the day, but just takes that pitch behind in the count and still so much confidence. Even in a two-strike count, just gets her hands extended. Look at how she's gonna get on plane as well. That pitch up.
Virginia. 8 runs now in 5 innings. We're not even through 5 innings. Good glove work there by Beecham on the hot corner, 2 down. Kaylin Jones on ahead of her. On the ground, back to Francic, who makes the toss to first in time for out number 3.
Doing a good job, especially the double down the line by Waycaser. Good stuff, but total team offense hasn't been productive yet.
Good start to the bottom of the fifth for Florida State. Jason E. Beecham lifts the ball into that left center gap for a six. Entering today, leads the ACC in 2 for 2 so far. In good position to add on to it. Beecham on the run into scoring position ahead of the tag. Florida State's got the leadoff base runner in scoring position. Kerr to the gap. And Beecham turns on the gas and will score. 8-4.
And JJ with the big swing right there, drives that one to the gap. Love the use of the big part of the park, but Janai Kerr just keeping it simple. But look at how she's able to get that barrel through that pitch. Good piece of hitting there, trading places with Beecham.
And AP, and the spirits are high in that home dugout. Edenfield looking to give him another lift. And she will. That's a quality plate appearance. Hit well, but on a line to Hilton. Both runners scramble back to their respective bags.
Ball up, barreling it up well is a good sign.
Kennedy Harp, first pitch swinging, it'll get away from Kuhn at third. Stop sign for DeLong. The bases are full of Seminoles.
And good things happen when you can put the pressure on the defense. Kennedy Harp hits that one at third base, but just gonna go right through the wickets of Sarah Kuhn. Can't come up with it. That's a big one for Florida State right now. Much different situation. You thought for a second it could have been a double play ball, potentially one that hitters get a little too over aggressive on.
Inside, she walks, and Florida State scratches another run across here in the fifth. It is a 3-run game at the Seminole Softball Complex. Chance for McKenzie to come up big. Out in front, play is at the plate. The turn down to first doesn't get McKenzie. They do get the lead runner Fry at home. So it remains a 3-run game. The bases are still full of Seminoles as Annie Potter gets set to check in. Called strike 3 inside. Bigham leaves the bases loaded after Florida State scores a couple of runs to tighten the in this game as well. On the ground, back to Francic, and Francic's underhand toss to first retires Hilton. On the ground, past the glove of Francic and through. A second base knock for Kelly Ayer. Here with Ayer, here's Bella Cabral. And Cabral goes first pitch swinging, a soft liner snagged by Annie Potter.
Met you and stay aggressive in the batter's box.
Quality plate appearance there for Macy Eaton, who works the full count walk. On base for the 3rd time. Into left field, DeLong made the play! What a stretch! #2 hit leader in Division I softball. And that is golfed into left center. That'll find the gap. Torres, a big turnaround first. She'll slide into second with a leadoff double. No. That is punished out to center field, drifting toward the scoreboard and off the glove of Ayer. Torres will round third. She will score. It's a 2-run game.
That's a big one for Jason E. Beecham. Hits it to the big part of the park. You got your center fielder, Ayer, going all the way back to the warning track, but just can't come up with the catch. And Coach Harden said whoever plays the best defense is going to come out on top in these games. Issa Torres playing it safe right there as you had Ayer camped underneath it. Big one for the Noles, and the crowd is fired up.
Set of the second-ranked Gators. Looking to come through again here. And that is another quality plate appearance. Florida State is figuring it out against Bigham. Of her career for number 51. That is hit well on a line to center. Ayers secures it. That will be productive, though, for Florida State. It will score Beecham, and the Noles are within one. A couple of lineouts for Katie Dack. And that has popped up. Every time Dack has come to the plate, it has been Jade Hilton who has retired her. She's pitch coming from Bigham. Hit a ton, left field. Jones ranging back, it's off the top of the wall and out. Are you kidding? And
Kennedy Harp with the big swing. That one, little change-up action, but Harp just stays back. Fantastic approach. So much power in her bat, driving that one deep to the left field wall, but with a little help off the glove of Kaylin Jones. Gonna fall right over the fence. Her is gonna be the key for the whole weekend.
On the ground to third, Kuhn makes the play to first to put an end to the sixth. On the ground to short, slow roller. The shortstop has no issues making the play to first. Got her! Certainly not outside the realm of possibility that she finds her way aboard again. Off the end of the bat, Frantic ranges over, and that is it. Somehow, some way, the Seminoles win it.
And that's the Florida State fight that we know and love and are so used to seeing, just chipping away, not ever feeling too down or too far out of it. Good stuff from the Noles. Total team win right there too, finding a lot of different ways to manufacture runs, the pitchers adapting, getting the job done in the circle.
FSU battles from behind. AP, they trailed by as many as 6 in this game, and they just never, ever quit.
You can't quit, Sean. You never know, and the game's not over till it's over and the last pitch is thrown, so there's always an opportunity to come back and get it going in your favor. Good job by Florida State showing up.